Alright, just a quick disclaimer before we begin. The following video was recorded about a month ago, so some of the topics I go over might be a little outdated. The videos are still, up to the quality of videos I still produced today, but, like I said, some of the topics I go over were relevant a month ago, so obviously they're not going to be relevant now, so I kind of just wanted to point that out before we begin. Anyway, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get straight into the video. Here we go. Alright, so, hey everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil Remake. And, in the previous episode, we went around the mansion and collected all 4 death masks, placed them in their pedestals, and fought the super powerful Crimson Head. And well, in this episode, now that we have unlocked or obtained the stone metal object, we can go ahead and make our way to the next location within the game, which I am super excited to do so. Because the next location in the game is actually known as the Residence, and it is my favorite location within the entire game, and I'm super excited to get there. However, the dormer is broken. Luckily, though, I do believe we still have some uses. Thankfully, like I said, I saved them. But, yeah, like I was saying, next location within the game, the Residence. But, on our way there, while making our way to the next location, we will be going to first another location as well that is specific to the remake. So I'm super excited to show that off as well, because in that new location, there's actually an enemy that is only in the remake, and I'm super excited to take that on, because it's a really cool design, and there's even a whole backstory and a whole history on it they added within the game as well, and honestly, it was all just really well done, and I'm super excited to show that off. In this room, we do have the shotgun shells here, I'm noticing, but another thing I'm noticing is I kinda actually forgot to put the ink ribbons back into the save chest. Not the end of the world, but kind of annoying. Now, I think there's a yeah, that's what I thought. My memory served me correctly, and there was a taser here. Another first aid spray as well. So yeah, there's kind of just a whole bunch of helpful items in this room that are pretty cool, if I do say so. Luckily, we've cleared this room out. Just gonna, basically, when I loot out every single room, I'm just gonna pause the map for you guys, just so I can quickly show off whether we've fully, cleared out that room or not, because like I said, that is the goal of the series, is to clear out every single room, and I'm going to stay true to that goal. Here we have this, and I think you want to stop it at the S. No. Which means that it must be the W. So I'm going to wait for it to slow down and stop it right there. And let's see which way it turns. That is good. So you just want to make sure that that red one is facing west. And basically you'll see how this puzzle works, and I'll talk about it more later after this cutscene.
Barry?
Unluckily for us, we're, actually in the forest outside the mansion, completely not doing what Barry told us to do. We're doing the exact opposite, but yeah, he kind of talks about the new enemy that we'll be, encountering. I kind of messed up there, but the new enemy we'll be encountering, the monster in chains, but unfortunately, like he said, guns are pretty much ineffective against it, and while that's not entirely true, you can use guns to stop it and stun it and kind of, knock it down momentarily. Basically, yeah, overall, guns don't really do anything. What you can't, but you basically, what I'm trying to say is, you can't kill the enemy with guns. You, can only kind of momentarily stun it, but there you go. If you place that if you stop the first one west and you stop the second one north, you can go ahead and solve this puzzle. Basically, the dogs have to be looking the opposite way of the door here, and if they're not looking into the forest, then this door will be locked, and you gotta go solve the puzzle. Luckily for us, though, we solved it, and we can now make our way through these doors. Not really sure how they are locked by the direction. It doesn't make too much sense, but here we have the crows, and now we will actually, go this way to, make our way to the next location. But we're gonna turn down here because, and you want to make sure that you bring the wind crest with you for this. If you go ahead and put the wind crest in the spot here, you gain these 3 crests here that you can go ahead and put in to obtain a pretty cool item. Luckily, we have just enough space for this, which is pretty cool. This is a nice little reference to the original game. you know, with the 3 crests that are in the original game, which in the original version would actually allow you to, you know, leave the mansion. Now, in this version of the game, they're going to give us access to a pretty cool weapon. I'll go ahead and spoil it now and say that we will be getting the magnum from solving this puzzle, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And the magnum is pretty useful. Unfortunately, though, there isn't really too much ammo. Oh, caution, that's lame, boo. But there isn't really too much ammo for the magnum to go around, so you definitely want to make sure you're, you kind of use your uses, when you need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to go around just shooting regular zombies with the magnum, otherwise you will regret it. But it's alright, because I do believe we won't really need to worry about wasting the magnum, because we do have plenty of shotgun ammo. But there we go, once we put all 3 crests in, you want to make sure that you examine every single one, to have the little, you know, insignias at the back pop out, and then we get the magnum revolver. So pretty much the same exact magnum that Barry has, and it looks pretty slick, and it's one of the coolest looking weapons within the game. I will say that. Now with that done, we can make our way into through these, also through these other gates, and start progressing even further into the forest. I must say, I kind of do like that the remake. Just wanted to be quiet there to let you hear the voice, but that is the monster we'll be encountering. That's what that is. But I do like all the forest sections they added throughout the remake. It definitely makes the whole, the property of it all seem a lot more realistic. In the original, the forest and outdoor sections were pretty limited, and for a mansion that big, you would have expected to have a lot more actual, cleared out property to it. You can kind of see the cabin we're going to be going into from here, and it looks all run down and shabby, and it's pretty scary, but we will have to head in there. You know, kind of don't really want to, because there is some creepy stuff in there, I will tell you that, but I don't think there's actually anything in this, you know, room. It's not really like a room, but in this area, I guess, yeah, it's all cleared out. We're doing a good job of getting everything there is to collect in these areas, and now you can slowly make your way into the cabin here. Yeah, the camera angle they give you is already creepy. You walk into here and it's already scary because it looks like something's watching you from above. And luckily for us, nothing is, so we don't have to worry about that. I do believe, yes, there is the map here, so we can get the map of the courtyard, which will give us, you know, a good view of what more, what there is to come, and what more there is to the actual property of the residents here. You know, we do have, we'll take the map. Here is a typewriter, which I don't think we can really do too much with. Well, I mean, we could save, but I'm not going to because I'm recording, obviously. One thing I will do is, let me put this here. You know what? I hate to just do, like, inventory management in the middle of an episode, but I actually kind of want to move some stuff. Actually, whatever. I don't want to waste my time with that, actually, in the middle of recording. I'm going to actually put the magnum back for now because we really don't need it. We want to jump down here, though. It doesn't really look like you can come down here, but you can. And if you go ahead and head over here, we can gain access to the crank. Now, I do believe we will be... I'm just going to spoil this now. This whole, like, area here, we actually will be coming back through. So, look forward to that. We will be heading through this whole area again later on within the game, which I'm pretty hyped up for that. But now, when we head back through here, quickly run over here because I want to show this off. Yeah, you can get a little view of what we're going to be going up against. And boy, is that always creepy, but... if we go ahead and interact with what looks like the what looks like the typewriter, instead we'll get, you know, the family picture. There's a journal left by someone. 19. Daddy attached first. Mom attached second. Inside red and slimy, white and hard. Not true. Mom where? Dunno, Dad. Found Mom again. Where attached? What attached? When attached Mommy, she moved no more. She's screaming. Why? Just want to be with her. 4. Mom where? I miss you. Yeah, that's crazy. Those, you know, that was actually pretty difficult to read. I won't even lie with you. Is this actually just a dead guy lying here? Is that what that is? Wait, what? No, sorry, it's not. Because it looks like there was like a boot kind of... oh, it's just an empty boot hatched to no leg. That's all it is. But yeah, that was actually hard to read. But as you can kind of, you know, probably guess, that's, you know, the monster we're going to be going up against did write that. And now when we head through this doorway here, something pretty scary will happen. So let's go ahead and move up. Yeah, this thing is freaking scary, but let's go. Oh my gosh, I thought I was actually about to get hit there. I do want to point this out, though. I remember when Lisa, like, this is what this monster is. It's Lisa. It's the girl's name, but it's just a girl that's been, you know, received several tests by Umbrella. It's actually really depressing. We'll get more into the backstory of this monster as we progress and find more files throughout the game. But as you can see, we're able to, you know, put it down. So bullets are somewhat effective. You know, Barry kind of lied to us, but, yeah, so we'll find more and learn more about that monster. But I remember when Lisa first hit me with her handcuffs in that little cutscene there, the way Jill drops there, that's the same animation you get when you die. So I remember I literally thought I, like, received it. I remember I thought, like, I just got killed, and I was, like, super salty, because I was like, how was I supposed to avoid that? But no, they just used the same animation, even though we're not actually dead. Yeah, there is a zombie on there. Whoa, I was kind of hoping I wouldn't run into him there. Yeah, there is a zombie on your revisit here, which is always scary. Most of the time, though, he stays idle. It's the first time we have ever actually had him run around. It's like I was pointing out in the last video, or maybe a couple videos now. I don't really remember. All I'm saying, though, is that I feel like whenever I play through this game is recording it, I don't know why, like, weird stuff that never usually happens to me always does for some reason. It's like, I don't know. But that's why I love it. Like, it's just a coincidence, but it's like, it doesn't seem like it. It almost feels like I'm, like, playing through this game, like, the first time again, even though it's just lucky coincidences. It almost feels like it's not, in a way. But anyway, yeah, now that we do have the crank, that's the whole reason we went to that house, was to obtain the crank. You can make your way back through this forest section of the game, and then we can go back into the little shed here that we came out of, to this path, and head through the other double doors, because originally if we were to go through those double doors first, you could progress a little, but you'd be kind of stopped by the fact that we need the crank, so you don't really want to try to head through there first. You want to go through the other way first. But now that we do have that, we can go ahead and, yeah, head through these doors. Unfortunately, I do believe there are going to be a couple enemies out here that I should probably equip my gun for, just so that I can quickly take care of them. I also believe there's going to be a cutscene as well, so get ready for that.
This is Brad. If you can hear me, just give me a sign. Anything.
Jill to Brad. Can you hear me? Shit. It's broken.
Yeah, the radio we were given is faulty, but as you can see, there are some dogs, and I don't really want to alert them. I kind of just want to sneak past them here if that's possible, but he does see me, so let's just fire off a shot. Yeah, that was a fatal flaw. I really shouldn't have done that. Oh my lord. Let's just get this guy off me and just start firing rounds to these guys. Oh my god, I'm about to be like killed here by these guys. They're like really getting annoying. Ouch! Stinkers. You know what, let me actually use, yeah, the first aid spray. Hopefully that's that. Alright, we took care of them. They kinda were a lot more actually difficult than I originally expected. I was kind of expecting to just go in there all badass and take care of them with ease, but that wasn't really the case, unfortunately. But it's whatever. I do believe if we run down here, there's... No, the map is only here in the original game. We already did get the courtyard map from the cabin, so what was I thinking? I don't know. My memory of the original game sometimes just interferes. I feel like more often than not, though, it's my memory of this that interferes with the original instead of, you know, vice versa, but sometimes that also happens too. Anyway, basically the reason we needed the crank is for this. The water, you know, stops us from going down here. You know, Jill doesn't want to swim across, and honestly, I wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't want to swim after the stuff I've seen in water like this either. So what we need to do is we want to go ahead and whip out the crank, put it in, and just start turning it, and then that will lower the water, and then we can easily walk our way across and make your way to the next area in this little forest here. Unfortunately, yeah, for some reason this cutscene is like GameCube level assets. They didn't really switch this cutscene to match with HD. It's always been a little weird to me, but you know what I've really always liked about this cutscene though, and why I don't mind that it looks so low res? It's that it actually looks real, you know what I mean? Like, it actually looks like real life, so I kind of, you know, I'm not complaining, honestly. It might sound like I am, but I really do like it for what it is, but, you know, there is a puzzle involving this whole crank thing that I will talk about when the time comes, but basically, what that did is, because we lowered this, the waterfall is now active. There is a waterfall down that we'll see when we take this little elevator down that is only active once the crank thing works, and it's going to be a whole puzzle on how to, you know, have the waterfall not going, but have the water filled, but still be able to cross. It's It's gonna be a whole thing, but I'll get into that when the time comes. Now I'm just kind of focusing on the fact that I do believe there are dogs here as well, so I just kind of want to walk my way past them without setting them off. Or maybe I'm remembering this wrong, I don't know. Alright, maybe they just come later, or maybe they're not here at all and I'm just being a fool. I don't know. But the good thing is they're not here now or at all, so we don't have to worry about them. You can just easily make your way through these double gates here and just progress. Here's a red herb. You know what, actually? I'm gonna make a whole little herb combo here just for the heck of it. You know, we'll make a whole red, blue, and green combination just because that's pretty cool, if I do say so. I've always wanted to do that. There are gonna be a bunch of snakes following after us. We just want to run and just haul and leg it our way through here without having to, you know, really interact with these snakes, because I don't really want to get poisoned, because I know that for a fact that they will poison me, which isn't really something I'm that interested in having happen. So let me just make my way past all these guys. And wow, that's actually I kind of messed it up, but that was actually a pretty cool camera angle. Now there are going to be 3 blue herbs here that we'll pick up and put into the nearest save chest, which is actually just a couple rooms ahead in this hallway. Actually, just through here there'll be a save chest and typewriter, you know, a full save room here, where we can go ahead and dump some of this stuff off, which I definitely will be doing. Now, I know we made it to a new area and a new save room, but I will play just a little bit longer, I guess, just, you know, see what else is here, because I do kind of want to have this episode be a little bit longer than whatever it is currently running at now, as otherwise it would be way too short, I can assure you. Let's just put everything back. We don't have too much health or ammo, but it's fine. I'm sure we'll find some soon. Yeah, we'll just run in with the shotgun and that's it, because 7 shells is still enough. Now, there is going to be a bit of a block pushing puzzle in this hallway here, which I don't really like, but I don't think it's too long. Basically, if you run by this, there's going to be like this plant creature that'll like grab you and strangle you. I don't really want to get into it, but I don't really want to show it off either. You know, I didn't really want to spoil the fact that there's, you know, a giant plant, but at the same time, I didn't really want to show it grabbing me because you would lose a bunch of health, so I'm just going to say it, and if you want to test it for yourself, just go ahead and run past the little hole in the floor here and, you know, trigger that, but I won't be, because I'm trying to avoid damage here and not play this silly, you know, actually play this smart, and instead I'm going to head through here, and there will be a bit of there's going to be a very cool camera angle here. You know, this whole creepy spider thing, you know, comes after you. If I was Jill, I would have been, you know, that's right. I know it's a horror game and not a, you know, a realistic game, but wouldn't it be funny if there was like realistic Resident Evil and Jill saw that and she literally just started like screaming at the top of her lungs? So let's be honest here, that's how it would actually be if it was real. Not gonna lie though, I think I'd do more than scream. I'd probably like, you know, like shit myself. But we do have the green herb, and now we can make our way into this next area. You know, there's a whole arm wrestling tournament poster, which I think is pretty cool, I guess. I don't know, just kind of showing off the environments of the game here. You know, I've always been one to, you know, I've always been one to admire the little details in games. It's something I've always been good at. Anyway, here we do have some health, and there's also this book that does nothing to us now. If you go ahead and examine it, you'll see that there's nothing in the pages. It's completely empty. It'll, you know, it'll show us, it'll reveal its purpose later on, I'll say that, but as of now, we can't really do much with it. But right here's a spider, which I'm going to head and knock off, and then I'm going to go ahead and eliminate it. We didn't have to do this, but I just like killing spiders because I don't like them. We could have just left it alone, but I'm an asshat, so I decided to eliminate it. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. Let's just go ahead and take care of those guys, which we have done, and I believe the room is now clear, and there's a puzzle in here that we can kind of mess around with later on, but I'll do that stuff when the time comes. Now I'm just going to make my way back to the save room and dump off these items, you know, drop off these items that we've just collected, and, you know, put them away for now, and, you know, just have them safe. I'm just, you know, kind of, you know, stuttering here, you know, doing the thing where I slow down again, just because I'm thinking about what the next move would be. I think what I want to do, it's not that there's, you know, the guardhouse, Yikes, stuttered there. That was horrible. I was like, da, 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 da. But yeah, the guardhouse, or the residence, whatever you want to call it, is very... We'll put the shotgun away and just have the handgun for now, but the residence is very, very, very linear. I'll tell you that now. So it's not that there's really much we can do and that I'm getting confused on that. It's just I'm just trying to remember exactly how it all works, just because it has been a while since I've played through this. But I do know exactly, I think yeah, I do know where we want to go. It shouldn't be too hard, like I said. Pretty much all the areas are unlocked by, you know, keys that you'll pick up and unlock more keys. Like, there's really no... I'm not really explaining it. Basically, what I'm saying is there's no openness to the guardhouse or residence. Like, it's all... Like, each key has one specific use, which will give you another key, which has one specific use, and it's really all straightforward, and that's kind of why I like it. I do prefer open-worldness and non-linearity in my Resident Evil games, but sometimes linearity is a nice change of pace, like it is now, so that's why I kind of like it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and grab the map of the residence here. Now, if you go up... Yeah, you know, it says there's a hole in the wall. Now, if you go up here and click X a second time, you'll look into the hole and you'll get chased by a whole bunch of bees, and then they'll start chasing you, and they'll stay in this hallway forever and never leave. And that's, you know, and that's not an exaggeration. I mean, they'll stay in the hall and they won't leave because, you know, they're activated. So I'm not going to go ahead and press X again. Maybe we're technically losing out on a cutscene, but this is one instance where I really do not care, alright? Like, honestly, I do not care to get attacked by bees repeatedly because it's just going to be a huge health drain, and it's stupid. It's really not really worth it at all. But anyway, if you go ahead and press X on this door, a special cutscene will happen, which I'm super excited to show off. So here we go.
No, that wasn't part of our deal. But it's not necessary to destroy stars. What about my family? If I play my cards right.
Alright, so it seems Barry's talking to someone. So let's go ahead and make our way through this door and see exactly who he's speaking to, because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty curious. So let's go ahead and find out for ourselves, shall we?
Jill.
Barry, I heard someone talking.
Oh, you heard. I think age is starting to take its toll. Talking to myself is becoming a bad habit.
Talking to yourself? You all right? What's gotten into you?
I'm getting you worried, aren't I? But don't, I'm alright. I guess this creepy mansion has gotten to my nerves. Anyway, I think I'll go outside, get some fresh air for a change. Don't worry, I'm just going to get some fresh air. If I'm lucky, I'll get to waste some monsters along the way.
Alright, so it seems like Barry said he's talking to himself, but as you can see, I don't think Jill believes him, and I'll tell you this, neither do I. You know, Barry's clearly up to something here, but yeah, there is something in this room. I think it's just this file, right? So go ahead and take a read and see what it has to say. So the Plant 42 report. 4 days have passed since the accident. The plant, incident? No, I don't know. Incidents are, I don't even know what I'm saying. Accident. The plant at point 42 is growing at an amazing rate. Although there are many unknown aspects about this plant, we know that in comparison with the other group of plants, the T-Virus has had a substantially stronger effect on this one. The T-Virus has drastically morphed its host's anatomy as well as its size. Looking at its current state, it's difficult to imagine its original appearance. Nowhere on Earth will you find anything like it. We've also found that Plane 42 has two main sources of acquiring its necessary nutrients. One source is through its root. Somehow it has rooted itself down into the basement. Immediately after the incident, a scientist went mad and destroyed the aqua ring. Ever since, the basement has been like a pool. There is a high possibility that it's one of the chemicals in the waters that's promoting the Plant 42's rapid growth. However, we've yet to determine the specific chemical. A bulb-like body of the Plant 42 has been sighted hanging from the ceiling on the first floor. We're sure that it has used the air ducts to reach the first floor. Numerous long tentacle-like vines are protruding from the bulb. We believe that vines are the second means of acquiring its nutrients. When the Plant 42 senses prey, it uses the tentacle-like vines to capture its prey. After doing so, suckers on the vine drain the prey of its blood. We've also noticed that it has some intelligence. When it captures its prey, or when it's inactive, the vines twine around the door to stop possible intruders. Unfortunately, several of our scientists have already fallen victim to this Plant 42. When we heard of the stories from the survivors, they all observed one thing in common. When the uniform petal-like flaps open and reveal its vital internals, it has a tendency to become more aggressive. One witness reported that it was as if it was trying to protect itself. Why it behaves the way it does is still unknown. May 21st, 1998. Henry Sarton. Alright, so I guess, you know, the vines, you know, like, that's the thing that would attack you if you walked over the weak spot, like, the open spot in the floor, and, you know, they drain your blood, which sounds actually pretty scary, so I'm glad I didn't have that happen to poor Jill here. But yeah, the bulb, without getting too much into this enemy, the bulb is pretty much its weak point, and, you know, it becomes more aggressive because when it opens that up, you know, it becomes more aggressive because it's trying to protect that spot of it, but, yeah, so this room, I believe, is now cleared out, and, you know, all you want to do is make your way into this small room, and we'll see the item that we want to collect in here, and we can go ahead and pick it up and start unlocking more areas of this place. Now, I don't think I'm going to do too much more exploration, just because I do want to end things off relatively soon, but what I do want to do, of course, is grab the key and make my way back to the save room, but there is an area on the way back to the save room that we can quickly interact. That scared the shit out of me. I'm just going to say that now. Like, I actually just about jumped 20 feet into the air. Oh, freaking crap. Okay, luckily I do actually have this freaking... Oh my god, I'm gonna have to use 2 daggers. I'm like wasting all my stuff just on this one zombie. That better be enough. I really hope so, at least. Alright, that was. Now we can now make our way into this door, which is pretty cool if I do say so. You know, I guess the reason I'm starting here is because you totally did not just hear my phone in the background. That's pretty unprofessional. My apologies. Yeah, I'm kind of getting a call, but whatever. I'm just gonna tune that out. The point is, I do want to make... Normally I have my phone on silent, but I was getting texted by someone earlier, and you know, I am breaking the fourth wall so bad. That's, you know, a huge pet peeve of mine is I hate doing that. I like talking about, you know, just the gameplay and what's going on, so I feel like I'm actually in the experience. But I guess just so that everyone understands, I just had it on silent because I knew someone was going to text me, and I had it off of the silent mode, and now I'm regretting, you know, I'm not turning it back on. But, yeah, complete fourth wall break there. My apologies. I really hate doing that. Like, it's one of my top 10 least favorite things to do while recording. But, yeah, basically, I was just getting that, but now we can make our way back through here, and as you can see, this guy is getting hung up, and that is actually pretty creepy. What is cool, though, is if you go ahead and head over here, we can get one of the coolest items within the game, and it's the self-defense gun. Now, normally in, you know, real life, these guns, you know, suck, right? You know, because it's just a self-defense gun. Luckily, or not luckily, I don't really know, it's just cool and coolly enough. Coolly, that's not even a word. I don't even know, I'm like starting so bad, but basically what I'm trying to say is, in this game, the self-defense gun is like the most powerful gun within the game. It like one-shots anything, and so it's like an opposite of how it works in real life, but they obviously did that on purpose, probably just for like a joke. But anywho, the suicide note. June 22nd, 1998. I had to do it. We ran from those things, helping each other to survive, but Robert started to show the symptoms. I had to do it. Those damn things are pure evil. There was no other way. He would have done the same if it were the other way around. After I put him out of his misery, I had to just leave him in the bathroom. Now I'm probably the last one. How could this happen? I'll never forgive myself for being part of this project. Eventually I'll get what's coming to me, though. There's no way to escape from this house. It's just a matter of time now. Everything is set. All I need is a little courage to get it done. Knowing that I'll leave many things undone is regret beyond words. But this is better than just waiting to turn into one of them. Please understand and at least let me end my life as a person. There's a message on the back. Linda, please forgive me. Wow, this game's always been like so creepy to me. Like all these like notes, like so many people were part of this horrible like incident and project, and you can constantly see that throughout the game that like people are regretting what's being done here, and it's sad, and it's just, I don't know. The notes and files. You honestly, I know some people, you know, a lot of gamers out there don't like to read, but I'm telling you, you know, if you're someone who doesn't like to read, just read, man. Like, you'd honestly be missing out with so much lore and so much detail and just a huge major part of the game that you would actually be. What the hell was that? Oh, was that the zombie dropping in the other room? That's probably what it was, right? But yeah, you'd be missing out on a huge and major parts of the game if you don't read the files, so I definitely recommend doing so, and that's why I read the files for the Let's Play, because it makes everything so much creepier, and it really adds life to the game. But Anyway, yeah, I think that was the zombie dropping. Now, I'm just gonna book it out of here and not even mess with him. Hopefully he's not, like, right out here, because that would be really bad. Is that what that was, though? Okay, now I kind of am curious to see. Ah! Okay, but yeah, I was just kind of curious to see him. That's probably the guy. That's probably the guy from the suicide note, though, right? He probably hung himself to get rid of everything, I'm assuming. See, if it were me, though, I feel like... Look, I don't want to get too much into death here because it's just disturbing, right? But I feel like hanging yourself is painful. I would have just used the, you know, the self-defense gun. Whatever, though. Don't really want to talk about that because that's just saddening and depressing stuff. But what I do want to talk about is that we do have the control room key. And now, we're kind of at a dead end, you might be thinking. But if you go ahead and look into the room where Barry was, like, supposedly talking to himself, you can see that ladder. Now, there is a puzzle we can solve that gives us access to the Aqua Ring that was also mentioned in a file in that room. And we couldn't really do too much in the Aqua Ring, and we'd have to, you know, fight a whole bunch of enemies and then make our way back and then refight them if we went back again after that. So that's why I didn't really want to mess with that until now, because it just would have been really, it just would have been really inefficient to go down there without first obtaining the control room key. But now that we do have the control room key, we can now make our way back down there and, you know, deal with everything that needs to be done there. But that will be done in the next episode, because I'm going to end things off here. So, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Let's Play Resident Evil Remake, and in the next episode, we're going to be making our way into the Aqua Ring, which I'm super excited to do so, because there are some pretty cool enemies down there. So, join me then if you will. I've been Game Expert, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!